Canada could do nothing but benefit from having a positive relationship with India, and I hope that the talks between Mr. Carney and Mr. Modi are positive and look forward to an increased relationship between us.
This is going to be Mark Carney. This was a gesture from Mark Carney to like, hey, we're going to restart this trading relationship. Let's forget what's in the past. Let's move forward to what is ahead.
Khalistani extremism is a major problem. There's no question.
But now they are directly connected with the Mexican mafia.
We should not be having a foreign separatist group threatening our allies.
Khalistanis, many of them say that violence is appropriate in achieving their objectives, and they've never shied away from violence. And that is going to continue unless somebody is prosecuted. And Canada has been slow. It's my country. I always said that. It's been slow to prosecute Khalistani violence. And as long as they don't prosecute threats and violence that's done by the Khalistanis, Canada is destined to suffer from this scourge.
India being invited to the G7 summit and our Prime Minister Mark Carney reaching out to India for this is a fantastic development. I think that with a market that's so big, 1.4 billion people, the world's largest democracy, there's a big market there, and there's a lot in common between our countries. And Canada has the largest diaspora of Indian people in the world. What a great arrangement this could be. Well, the situation of Khalistani extremism is a major problem. There's no question. And most Hindus and Sikh people in Canada are not happy with this situation. And hopefully this will be discussed by the federal government with India. You know, I'm in the provincial government in British Columbia, where there is a large Khalistani movement. It's dangerous and scary for a lot of people, and it's time that this be dealt with firmly. And I hope that this will be discussed in meetings between Prime Minister Mark Carney and India and the G7.
बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है, स्पेशली इंडिया एंड कनाडा के रिलेशन के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट स्टेप है. आई थिंक दोनों तरफ से, नॉट ओनली फ्रॉम द कैनेडियन पॉलिटिशियन और द पॉलिटिक्स, कैनेडियन प्राइम मिनिस्टर, इवन के प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया और कैनेडियन प्राइम मिनिस्टर के बीच में जो बात हुई है, जो इनविटेशन आया है, आई थिंक ओवरऑल एक बहुत अच्छा मैसेज है. अनफॉर्चुनेटली ये सो कॉल खालिस्तानी है, ये फ्रिंज एलिमेंट है वहाँ, और इन लोगों ने सारी सिख कम्युनिटी का ठेका ले रखा है. और लोग सोचते हैं, ये प्रटेंड ऐसे करते हैं भी हमारे साथ इतने लोग होंगे, हम ऐसे करेंगे वैसा करेंगे. नहीं, जो लोकल डायस्पोरा है, जो सिख कम्युनिटी है, वेरी हार्ड वर्किंग कम्युनिटी है, लेकिन उसको सप्रेस करने के लिए कोई भी ये मौका नहीं छोड़ते. और एंड ऑफ द डे जो ये देखो, उसमें ये कहते हैं भी हम इतने लोग प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे, दिस एंड दैट. वहाँ सरी में एक बैसाखी का एक एनुअल फंक्शन होता है, वहाँ 500,000 लोग आते हैं, स्पेशली पंजाबी डायस्पोरा के. और आप आज देख लें कि लेट देम डू कि जो भी ये प्रोटेस्ट करना चाहते हैं भी देख लिया जाए. 1,000 लोग नहीं इकट्ठा कर सकते, और उसको 1,000 के कहते भी इकट्ठा करने के लिए उनको न्यूयॉर्क से भी लोग बुलाने पड़ेंगे, कैलिफोर्निया से भी बसें जा रही हैं, और इवन के टोरंटो से भी लोग आ रहे हैं. ऑब्वियसली सो कैलगरी या वैनकूवर तो होंगे. ये कुछ जो फ्रिंज एलिमेंट हैं, जिसमें से गुरपतवंत सिंह पन्नू, SFJ है, ये इन लोगों ने हमेशा सिख कम्युनिटी के लिए कोई अच्छा काम नहीं किया, और ना ही ये करने देना चाहते हैं. इसके पीछे एक बहुत बड़ा कोई एजेंडा है कुछ लोगों का. इट्स नॉट ओनली दीज पीपल, क्योंकि ये तो कुछ लोग इनको गुमराह कर रहे हैं. कुछ लोग ये किसी लोगों का, कुछ फोर्सेस का ये हथकंडा बनकर जो 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 जैसी भी इनकी एक्टिविटी है, ये दिस इज नॉट गुड फॉर द सिख कम्युनिटी.
It's a natural relationship we have to build and harness. The unfortunate part is the Khalistani separatism that's been growing in Canada and flourishing, and that the government let it happen. We should not be having a foreign separatist group threatening our allies. It's completely unacceptable, and by all means equals to terrorism. The relationship with India is much more important than I think, pandering to this group because of they can elect a couple politicians in certain ridings now.
I believe that it's very, very important, both in terms of trade and in terms of international issues. We have similar interests, being democracies. Khalistanis, many of them say that violence is appropriate in achieving their objectives, and they've never shied away from violence. Air India is just the most violent symbol of the violence that they preach and practice, and that is going to continue unless somebody is prosecuted. And Canada has been slow. It's my country. I always said that it's been slow to prosecute Khalistani violence. And as long as they don't prosecute threats and violence that's done by the Khalistanis, Canada is destined to suffer from this scourge for a long time.
Mark Carney has kind of touted himself in the last campaign here in Canada that he is the economic guy. He's the guy you call in a crisis, and he's more focused on Canada's economic issues. And that's why a lot of what I'm seeing right now with him reaching out to Modi, or Prime Minister Modi, is really the idea that he wants to restart that relationship from an economic perspective. Because India is the #5 economy in the world, it only makes sense you would want to establish a solid economic relationship there. And so obviously we know that Prime Minister Modi will bring up the Khalistani issue with Prime Minister Carney. And the issue that we're seeing here in Canada is there's not a whole lot of political will to address the Khalistan issue here. And so it's going to be on Prime Minister Modi to really make his argument to Prime Minister Carney, even get him any movement.
The world is passing through a critical phase, and the G7 meeting that is taking place in Alberta will be a great opportunity for the world leaders to brainstorm and come up with solutions to find peace. Our Prime Minister Mark Carney has invited Mr. Narendra Modi from India, which is a welcome step. There have been issues between India and Canada in the past few years, and I hope during this meeting, things are sorted out and a new path is chosen whereby both the countries develop and prosper. We need to have better relationship in trade, in investments, technology, and both India and Canada can prosper by this. The large Indian diaspora in Canada, which is over 1 million people, want peace, stability, and progress. So we hope that this meeting will bring about that desired change, progress, and peace, and both countries will develop. So welcome Mr. Modi to Canada, and hoping for a better, sustained, and prosperous future.